Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be in a coma? I have. Not saying I want to be in a coma. I just always been curious about what really goes on in the human mind as you have to lay and sit there. I feel like that is a perfect time or a terrible time, or maybe both. Just because I believe you just left there with your thoughts. Like, I don't know, never been in a coma, but I have passed out. Let's talk about this real quick. I've passed out at work. I came to work one day. I was standing outside talking to some coworkers, really just listening, and I started getting a strange feeling. Like, I thought it was in my stomach.
Pause.
But then it moved directly to my head. Like, it was like a flicker. It was like, somebody's fucking with this light switch right now, right? Someone's messing with my light switch. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I could get through it. I could get through it.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I started feeling woozy. I'm like, okay, let me go inside and sit out. Because we was outside on like a terrace patio type of thing. So I was like, let me go inside and get a seat. I wasn't thinking all the way because there was chairs right there. I could have just sat down. Goofy. Wasn't thinking. Said, let me go inside. Let me not bother these people. I made it to the door. Collapse. I don't remember falling, but I know I collapsed. Because then I remember some lady being like, are you okay? This all happened at work, by the way. Like, this is at a job. How embarrassing, right? In that moment, it was like everything just went away. I don't remember falling. I remember making it to the door. I do not remember falling. I couldn't see nothing. My eyes probably was in the back of my head. I couldn't see shit. My eyes wasn't working, but my body was aware it was on the ground. It was crazy, but I'm okay. Haven't passed out since. Let's figure out what it's like to be in a coma. We're blessed and honored to have someone to share their story with us today.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. They ready, they soft and tell you what they get it better than screaming and yelling at you. Says he faded more sauces, spaghetti pop like a fed and it's feel like a cherry.
Shout out to Cindy. Did that say the Cindy Project? What it's like to be in a coma. The Clarity Project.
So I was in a coma. Great conversation starter, I know.
It's a great conversation starter. But before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification so you already know when I'm posting. Let's get into it.
It's a complicated story. I had a surgery and it went bad and I got an infection and it attacked my lungs and so
I had surgery and it went bad. Oh my God. So I don't trust doctors, man. Hope you're doing well now, though. Let's continue. Let's figure out.
induced coma. So it was something called a medically induced coma. So I didn't just
What?
pass out. They actually gave me drugs and continuously gave me drugs for a good 2 weeks or so that I could be in this sleep state and they could try and heal me and get me to live. So many dreams, so many stories. So here you go.
So many dreams, so many stories.
This is what it's
I'm
like
ready,
being
man.
in a coma.
I'm ready. My fault.
So here you go. This is what it's like being in a coma.
Let us know.
First things first, everything that happens in the real world, you hear, you're aware of, you kind of know what's going on, but it goes through this weird like filter thing in your brain, and by filter I mean it's going through the drugs, and then it turns into something.
Weird filter thing is just going through the drugs. That's what it is. Everything just going through the drugs they getting you.
Else once it like actually hits your consciousness. So example, a lot of people would come to visit and sit by my bed and talk to me. I heard my stepmom and my own nanny talking and all of that, and I heard what they were saying, but then in my head we were in like a girls' camp, like one of those like log cabin camps, and they were gossiping about one of the other girls. Really, they were just talking about like one of the nurses and something she had said, but like in my head they were like gossiping, and I was like in on it too. I was talking back to them, but I wasn't actually talking. And sometimes this messes me up so much when I'm going and looking back like on the whole experience. I remember so clearly saying something back to them and being like, oh yeah, that Peggy. I didn't say anything, so it was like all.
That's what I was saying. It's like your mind thinks you're somewhere so powerful, but then your body is just like, psych. So the power really lies within the mind, and then the consciousness of the magic and the non-understandable things up here. That is crazy. Like I think that is so
A weird
wow.
conversation in my head with everyone, and I wasn't even talking.
That's
Another thing that would happen
crazy.
was like uncomfortable positions that they would put me in. My brain would make up a story for why I was in those positions. At one point, they had to actually tilt the bed in something called Trendelenburg, which is like literally tipping you upside down. So there I was, like upside down and like swollen like a balloon at that point. And in my head, I was like going in this weird like hammock thing. And then I remember I got like my foot caught in the hammock, and so I was like hanging upside down. And I was like, this is so weird, why can't I move? Like I should just be able to pull myself up. But then logic doesn't really work very well.
That's wow. I don't know. That's just crazy to me. Like I said, the power of the mind is just make up some shit of why you're in this state. On top of the drugs, you know?
The best part though, and the thing that kind of inspired a whole trip after I got out of the coma, was all of my Alaska hallucinations. I've never been to Alaska. I've never like shown any interest in Alaska. But for some reason, while I was asleep, I kept going to Alaska in my head, and it was so beautiful.
Where did you see Alaska to just dream about Alaska? Like, was it something? You said it's not something you had an interest in before, so it's just in school. It's like, you know what I mean? You seen Alaska in school on the computer or something. It's like, cool. And then your mind just captured it forever. It said, yep.
Going to Alaska in my head, and it was so beautiful. It was like
that's
pine trees and coves, and I remember just like sitting there and just like staring at the most beautiful scenery ever for hours and hours, and there'd be like a little deer off in the corner, and it would be freezing cold, but I didn't care. Turns out I was getting ice packed the whole time. So I had a crazy high fever with a crazy high infection, and what they do for that is they put ice packs all around you. Like that's literally like the most advanced thing they can come up with. So
oh my god, bro. Said that's the most advanced things they could have. Hey bro, hospitals, man, it's a lot of money for them to just put you on some ice. That's crazy.
Being iced, I guess somewhere in my brain I thought like ice, Alaska totally makes sense.
That's actually
one of the funny
crazy.
things too was the way that people's voices, like if I liked the person who was talking and I felt safe there, it would affect what was going on in my head. And I didn't notice this at the time, but like once I came out, I kind of like studied the whole experience. But every time it was my mom or my dad or people that I loved, it was someplace beautiful and it was comforting. And when it was people that I just kind of barely knew, it was always strange, and I had no idea where I was, and I felt kind of lost. And actually gets me
this may be the artist brain that I have, but this sounds like a great, I don't know, bro, like book. I just like hearing people's stories. I feel like this could be a pretty cool ass book, man. You know, so they just think about it themselves, so they can also experience your experience in a way, you know?
What?
Even though they're not in that coma, they can kind of feel the shift with the tone. I don't know, maybe you could do it with a movie or like a film or something, but I feel like a book will probably have a bigger oomph.
Thinking a lot about how that happens on a regular basis, even when we're not on crazy drugs. Like, how do the people that we're around and the experience that we're in influence our brain and our minds and how we see the world? Like, pretty much being in a coma is just like a very magnified and intense version of our own dreams. And so what can we learn from them, and what can we learn about ourselves? And I learned so much from that experience. I mean, first of all, that I love Alaska, apparently. But second of all, I really love, like, it showed me who I care about and who makes me happy, and how the world can be manipulated so easily, and how our own minds can be manipulated, and we can really believe so much. I don't know, talking about it kind of makes me happy in a weird way. You wouldn't think that, but
Nah, I absolutely get it. I'm actually, I watched this because I felt like I was gonna fuck with it. Cause I do, bro. Like, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna talk at the end.
yeah. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment, and I will make fun and interesting videos on them. Like
this
all
is
of my
actually
videos
dope.
are, right?
This is actually dope. Oh, she was done. She was done. I like her, bro. I really fuck with her, bro. I really, really, really fuck with her. I ain't gonna lie. I like her energy. I like her perspective about the whole thing. I like how she didn't let it like just be what it was, but let it influence her and let it be a learning experience. I feel like that is the dopest. Like that's dope, bro. And for her to be young, to her to be a kid, to go through something like this and come out with a completely different perspective on life and a positive perspective on life at that. No one wants to be in a coma. Let's keep it a band. No one wants to be in a coma. But the experience itself turned from just this bad situation of being stuck, unable to move, in the hospital, uncomfortable, to being this crazy hallucinate dream of multiple stories and journey of self and learning self and just, but I do think that's amazing, and I think she is an amazing person for even sharing her story with us and being as cool of a, as a person she is and as strong as a person she is. Like I hope that helped somebody today. I hope that made somebody smile. That made me smile. I don't know if y'all caught it, but that actually made me smile. Like, I love that. I fucking love that. I'm not gonna lie, I love that. And if you love that, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. It's been your boy Prince P. Peace. Hey.